Let's talk about charisma. Specifically, let's answer the question, can charisma be learned? It's really a big, big deal to have charisma in our business. Charismatic advisors are simply great communicators because they connect on an emotional level. They get people to buy in, to believe. Just imagine that you alone, just you, can make someone act and feel a certain way. No other advisor lights up a room the way you do. Just being near you makes people feel important. That's charisma. You'd be untouchable if you had tons of charisma. So the question is, if you don't have charisma, can it be learned? Well, there's a strong argument that people make that say those with charisma were born that way. You can't acquire it, you got to be born with it. But there are certain people that disagree. John Antonakis, Marika Fenley, and Sue Leachy, and I hope I pronounced her name correctly, are all very learned scholars. They disagree. They contend that the repeated use of certain charismatic leadership tactics, what they call CLTs, charismatic leadership tactics, the repeated use can make a person more influential, trustworthy, and leader-like in the eyes of others. Their contention is that you give people a sense of purpose and inspire them to act if you can learn to do three things: use powerful rhetoric, establish credibility, and stir up emotions. Use powerful rhetoric, establish credibility, and stir up emotions. You can get people to act. That's charisma. Well, they're right. One giant step toward being charismatic is learning how to listen. Did you ever walk away from a great conversation with a really cool person, only to realize later you did all the talking? That person has charisma. Learn to listen more than you talk. Also, learn to tell stories. We're all mesmerized by a spellbinding storyteller. Learn how to make the unfamiliar familiar. Condense your message and spice it up. Use analogies, similes, and metaphors. Make your message simple. When you help people understand a complex subject, and ours is certainly complex, when you make them understand a complex subject, you make them feel smart. When you make people feel smart, you cause them to look at you in a totally different light. That's charisma. Learn how to make other people feel important. Do you remember that time when you were in a room and that self-important jerk walked in? Don't be like that. That's anti-charisma. Allow the other person to be interesting. Learn how to do that. Let other people be interesting for a change. Get over the urge to interrupt. Nod, smile, agree. Let him be the star. Let her be the star, if even just for a little while. Learn to ask rhetorical questions. Rhetorical questions are great. They're questions with obvious answers. They encourage people to participate. People like that. Learn to reject mediocrity. Refuse to settle. Reject Me Too thinking. Demand excellence of yourself. Excellence is a magnet, inspires other people. When you strive for excellence, when you refuse to be mediocre, again, people look at you in a certain light. Learn to speak, act, and live with passion. Passion's contagious. As Pablo Neruda said, act as if you were on fire inside. Don't just be a financial advisor. Fall in love with being a financial advisor. Learn to be a bastion of common sense. Don't overpromise. Call back when you're supposed to. Communicate on a timely basis. Learn to do what you do so well that it's a pleasure to watch you work. Offer a service so good that people want to pay you for it. In short, keep your fire burning at all times. That flame inspires devotion in others. You don't want to talk others into taking action. You want to inspire them to take action. In a word, care. That's charisma.